Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package. I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. Good evening. In an effort to keep the dying steel pan music alive, local businessman Emil Deputa has organized an event to showcase the art form titled Pan on the Sand. Employee of Deepek's Color Lab, James Rodney, was also part of the idea.
Mr. Deputa and myself decided to take on that initiative to host an event whereby the talents and the skills and the hard work of the steel pan groups can be showcased and exhibited. And for that reason, we came up with Pan on the Sand, which originally was to be held at the Cove. But due to some circumstances, we had to relocate, and the Pan on the Sand event is now being held at Castaways Beach.
Rodney said the first event was held on Sunday. However, there are two other events scheduled for January 17th and 24th from 12 noon. According to Rodney, the objective of Pan on the Sand is to create an awareness of steel pan music in the form of a growing event, not just during carnival season, but at various times annually. Rodney is calling on the public to come out in large numbers to support the event. Also in the news, amidst speculation that there is dissension within the United Workers' Party, leader of the opposition, Lennox Linton, used the delegates' conference as a forum to dispel any rumors. Linton assured listeners on Sunday that there is no power struggle between him and Deputy Leader Joshua Francis. He stated, "There is no leadership struggle in the UWP. The UWP has a leader duly elected who is not a dictator and has no intentions of becoming a dictator. It is his wish that all ideas must contend at all times, and all those who feel that they have leadership capabilities and capacities and would like to offer themselves to leaders with their members, they are free to do so at any time." Linton determined that individuals are seeking to cause rifts within the party and watch it crumble, but he assured the public that members of the party use their talents to work together to make the party successful. The more our truths beat their lies into the ground, the more they return with additional lies in absolute desperation, he said. They are on a mission to destroy. I only want to say the only nice thing about it that only we, you, and you, all of us together, only we, the members of the UWP, can determine whether they succeed or whether they fail. Linton emphasized the party will continue to work in the best interest of the public and that when the time comes, a qualified successor will be chosen from the abundance of leadership talent within the party. All Saints University Registrar Abi Odan Ibikanle David is urging landlords to treat all students who are renting from them fairly. David said this is important as although they will have accommodation at their new facility soon to begin construction in Warner, it will not be adequate to house the school's entire population.
We want them to treat our students fairly, not to push us to run into making hostel accommodation a priority. We want fair treatment to our students, give them affordable, suitable and affordable accommodation wherever they live.
According to David, they also educate their students to be good ambassadors of the university wherever they live. The university registrar said they also advise the students to be fair to their landlords and pay their rent when due, in addition to using their apartments in a proper manner as aspiring doctors.
When there is agreement, we keep to our agreement. For instance, agreement that we will give them back the security deposit when they leave the apartments. We expect our landlords to comply with that without any problem, or we enter into mutual agreement where such is not going to happen.
David said the landlords should be fair to tenants, especially as it relates to rent fees. In other stories, following a brief rant by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit on the Focus on Government and Development program aired on DBS Radio, the Banana Accompanying Measures program funded by the European Union has made yet another donation to farmers on the island. The Prime Minister referred to the Ministry of Agriculture as its own worst enemy, as it does not promote its accomplishments and the headways it has made in the industry. In a presentation made yesterday to the Minister of Agriculture, Johnson Drygo, the Banana Accompanying Measures donated 20,000 bags of fertilizer and 35,000 gallons of oil to be used in the treatment of the Sigatoka disease. Colleen Roberts, National Authorizing Officer for BAM, made the presentation and emphasized the European Union's commitment to helping farmers in Dominica. Each region will be allotted their share of the fertilizer. However, primary focus will remain on banana production in the North, Southeast, Central, and East regions. Amidst claims that the distribution of the fertilizer is not properly overseen, Drygo asserted that the European Union has commended Dominica on its management of EU funds and donations. We have gotten many criticisms on the radio in that we were doing what we want with the BAM fertilizer and we will mess up our agreement with the EU, the minister said. The European Union has gone on record and said that Dominica is one of the best countries when it comes to managing EU funds, and we are not going to compromise that, said Drygo. Police are currently investigating an alleged burglary which transpired last weekend. Public Relations Officer Sergeant Pelham John Baptist has the report.
It is alleged that about 2:15 a.m. on Saturday, the 9th of January 2016, two unknown individuals entered the upper floor of a two-floor building at Loubier, where Rhoda James, female adult of Loubier, resides.
John Baptist said when the individuals were confronted at the residence, they inflicted wounds on Sevian Fontaine, a male adult of Loubier, and numerous stab wounds to the body of Rhoda James. Both Fontaine and James were transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where they were seen by a medical doctor. According to John Baptist, Fontaine was later discharged. However, James was admitted. The police is urging anyone with information which can assist police in the investigations to contact the Criminal Investigation Department at telephone numbers 266-5164, 266-5165, and 266-5119, or Crime Stoppers Dominica at telephone number 1-800-8477. In other news, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has told employees under the National Employment Program that a lack of commitment will not be tolerated. Skerrit said there are some employees under the program who are not performing. Here it is that you are unemployed. Here it is that the government has created an opportunity for you to be gainfully employed and gain experience, and you forming the fool on the job, Skerrit stated. The Prime Minister added that the government will continue its process of reviewing employees under the NEP. According to Skerrit, the government is prepared to release employees who do not show interest in getting the job done. Irrespective of who the person is, we guarantee you that you will be dropped from the NEP, but the program will continue. The cabinet approved a continuation of employment. Those of you who have not gotten your contract signed, you may want to follow up with the NEP office. But from a policy standpoint, the NEP continues, Skerrit explained. To date, the National Employment Program continues to engage hundreds of youth. The police are currently seeking assistance from the public in identifying a man whose lifeless body was recovered at sea about 5 p.m. on Sunday. Pelham John Baptist has more.
He was discovered by a local fisherman about 1 mile outside the city of Roseau, who reported the discovery to the Marine Unit. The body is that of a male adult wearing dreadlocks and clothed in a pair of long blue trousers and a brown t-shirt.
John Baptist said that the body was photographed by the crime scene unit of the Criminal Investigations Department. The body was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where death was officially pronounced by a medical doctor. John Baptist reported that the body has not been identified. A post-mortem will be convened. Investigation into the matter is ongoing. Although the leader of the opposition, Lennox Linton, is plagued with legal troubles, he can be assured of the support of his followers. In a radiothon held this morning on behalf of Linton, Dominicans raised over $24,000 within the first hour. In a letter penned by lawyers for Kieran Pinad-Byrne, Linton was asked to pay an imposed fine nearing $80,000 for a defamation lawsuit filed and won by Pinad-Byrne. Linton has until Thursday of this week to pay that fine. In a CBN4 exclusive interview, Linton expressed his gratitude to all who donated.
Thank the patriots of Dominica at home and abroad who have taken the decision to be behind this, to support this, to ensure that the judgment debts arising out of the defamation matter with Mr. Pinad-Byrne that went to the Privy Council, and which went in his favor, that we are able to settle that. And I think we've made some significant progress. A lot of the money pledged has...
Pinad-Byrne stated that Linton had 3 years to accumulate the sum and should have no trouble paying. Linton stated that using the donated funds, he will do his best to make the payment and asks for the cooperation of Pinad-Byrne.
Do our best to have this settled in the quickest possible time, and we expect that the other side will be patient as we do our best to get this done.
What do you say to the critics who criticize this
radiothon? Monel Williams called upon the people in her constituency of St. Joseph, especially those in Layu, to do what is in their power to assist Linton as the voice of Dominica. So far, just about $60,000 has been pledged, with 28 of that already collected. Stay tuned. Ali and Christopher is coming up with this evening's sports report.
A pleasant welcome to everyone tuning in. The Primetime Sports starts now. First up in football, in the first match of a doubleheader played at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium, Steinman Middleham United and Caribbean Cool Harlem United played to a 1-1 draw. Steinman Middleham United took the lead through a Kimon John Baptist strike early in the second half, but Harlem spoilt the party when they equalized in extra time with Shamali John getting the goal. But the performance wasn't too pleasing for the coach of the Caribbean Cool Harlem United, Kelsey Charles. According to Charles, there were a number of opportunities that wasn't taken in spite of the amount of fouls against the Harlem team.
Your point, but I'm sure you're not probably happy with what transpired this afternoon.
No, definitely we're not pleased with the way the team played. We threw a lot of goals, lack of concentration. Players were not efficient enough in what they were doing, moving the ball fast enough. But fortunately, we did get a goal to equalize the game and chances again to still take the victory. But you know, that's football and hard luck. Good to Steinman. They came back in the second round and played us a good game today.
Harlem dominated the game throughout and conceded what some might argue might have been a soft goal. How did that really impact you guys?
Well, I believe it shook them up a little bit to see that we impacted the game with throwing goals, and then Steinman got the real first clear chance, easy shot on goal, and then it scored. That's just telling you goals win games. It's a matter of possession and dominating the game. You just have to score goals to win. But we really want to win by design, the way we play, knock the ball, move the ball, and score the goals. Just today, the goals were not coming.
And a number of fouls coming up against Harlem, and was that any distraction?
Yes, I think a certain time it started distracting the players, but we spoke to them and tell them, the referee is just there to call the game. Things not working for you, you have to just play a little harder, concentrate and play the game. But I mean, how it goes when fouls not going your way. You feel like you're being refereed against, but that's how it is in football in general. So we can't do nothing about that.
Ronnie Gustav is the coach of the Steinman Middleham United.
Well, I find the boys didn't play that bad this evening. I'm really proud of them because they had nearly the Christmas season. We just get back into training. Harlem is a strong team. We played our game plan, we get enough opportunities, but we didn't capitalize on it. I mean, we were leading as 1-0 and 3 minutes to go stoppage time with just one mistake cost us the game. Always, it's a while we haven't trained because of Christmas season. I still find the boys push themselves a lot, and I find the communication compared to the other games in the first round was much better. So we just have to build on that part when I'm to this second game.
In Game 2 of the doubleheader, Baffin State Football Club registered an 8-0 victory over the Malta India Icons Football Club. Randolph Peltier continued his prolific form as he registered 5 goals, taking his tally of goals to 17. Coulson Benjamin scored twice and Fitzjolly getting 1. Meanwhile, on Sunday, in the featured match of the weekend, Dublin Football Club defeated Sagicor Southeast 2-0 to maintain their lead on the points table. Chad Bertrand scored both goals for Dublin.
Well, yeah, we say we couldn't slip up again, so we had to come stronger and train hard and, keep our heads together and just do it.
What do you think made the difference tonight?
Well, I'm back. So, my team has a lot of confidence in me, so everyone has a lot of confidence and, yeah, we're just working hard.
Meantime, the Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers registered their first win of the season with a 6-2 victory over the defending champions, Carrie FM Exodus Football Club. Jamie Parillon netted 4 times for Bombers, with Carl Christopher and Erskine Williams scoring 1 each. Delbert Daly and Jackie and George scored for Exodus. And moving on, the sports division is all set to host the 2016 Secondary Schools Volleyball Championships for both boys and girls. 10 teams have registered to take part in the female championships, and they will be divided into 2 zones, while 7 teams will compete in the boys championship, which will be done on a round-robin basis. This year, the traditional ballorama amongst the champion houses at the beginning of the championships will not occur, but rather the championships will start off straight away with matches. As per the schedule of matches, on Wednesday, January 13th, 4 matches are scheduled to take place. The Isaiah Thomas Secondary School will play host to both the female and the male teams of the Portsmouth Secondary School, with matches starting at 2 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. respectively. At the Dominica Grammar School's hardcourt, the Dominica Grammar School's female team will come up against the Wesley High School at 2 p.m., whilst at 3:30 it will be the boys of the Dominica Grammar School taking on the boys of the Castlebrooks Secondary School. In 2015 championships, the Dominica State College won the male category, whilst the Dominica Grammar School won the female category. In cricket, Jamaica survived a desperate fight back from Barbados to clinch a 2-wicket win at the Queen's Park Oval. Jamaica were cruising at 105 for 2 when Suleiman Ben sparked a dramatic collapse of 6 for 13 to give Barbados hope of defending 138. Andre McCarthy, 49, and Devon Thomas, 33, had put on 84 for the 3rd wicket before Ben wreaked havoc on the Jamaica middle order, with the left-arm spinner taking 4 wickets in a dramatic sequence. Sheldon Cotterell arrived at number 10 to thwart Ben's heroics with a pair of 6s as part of an unbeaten 16 that saw Jamaica over the line with 12 overs to spare. Earlier, Cotterell took 3 for 18 after Barbados chose to bat. Barbados captain Kevin Stout top scored with 39, but once again got little support as only Shamar Brooks and Jonathan Carter reached double figures among the top 7. Leg spinner Damian Jacobs continued his fine tournament form with 3 for 38 in support of Cotterell. The other Group A contest between Trinidad and Tobago and the ICC Americas was bashed out at Shaw Park. Despite bright and sunny conditions from the scheduled start time, no play was possible due to a damp outfield following early morning showers. The West Indies Cricket Board says the reason it rejected Test captain Jason Holder's application for a no-objection certificate to play in the inaugural Pakistan Super League was because the player's first priority needed to be the domestic competition. The 24-year-old Holder, a rising star in the game, was last month drafted by franchise team Quetta Gladiators, but confirmed recently he was forced to turn down the offer after not securing an NOC from the WICB. However, newly appointed WICB Marketing and Communications Manager Carol Beckford said West Indies retained players had an obligation to turn out in the regional tournaments. And Steve Smith scored a fine 149 as Australia beat India by 5 wickets in the first one-day international at the Wacker in Perth. Smith added 242 for the third wicket with George Bailey, who made 112, as the hosts overhauled India's 309 for 3 with 4 balls to spare. Earlier, India's Rohit Sharma hit 171 not out to break Viv Richards' record for the highest score by a visiting batsman in an ODI in Australia. The result of that match there will be between Australia. India batted first and posted 309 for 3. Rohit Sharma was not out on 171 and Virat Kohli made 91. Australia in reply made 310 for 5 with Steve Smith 149 and George Bailey 112. Australia winning by an innings and 5 wickets to take a 1-0 in the one-day series. And that concludes the Primetime Sport Report for today. My name is Alan Christopher, saying goodbye.
Thank you, Alian, for that report. A check on the weather is up next with Shanna Esprit.
A pleasant good evening to all and welcome to tonight's weather update for this evening and the upcoming days. Tonight we see some patchy clouds with a shower in spots. Temperatures are 81 degrees high with a low of 75. Humidity has risen to 84% with a 41% chance of rain in the area. Sea conditions are moderate to rough in open waters with waves up to 8 to 10 feet. Winds are moving east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. The sun rose at 6:35 a.m. and set at 5:53 p.m. Let's take a look at the weather synopsis. A dissipating frontal boundary will produce an increase in cloudiness and scattered showers, mainly across the central portion of the island chain during today. Elsewhere, generally fair weather conditions will prevail. Northerly swells are expected to affect the Lesser Antilles, peaking near 10 feet. As a result, a small craft warning is in effect for above normal seas. All users of the sea, particularly on the northern and eastern coastlines, are advised to exercise extreme caution. And a look at the weather updates for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the area will be partly sunny. Temperatures will be in the highs of 81 degrees with a low of 75. Humidity will be 72% with a 1% chance of rain in the area. Meanwhile, expect sea conditions to be moderate to rough in open waters with waves also up to 8 to 10 feet. A decrease in wind is expected and will move east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at the forecast for the days ahead. Thursday, we will experience the same weather patterns as Wednesday, as well as temperatures. Temperatures will be 81 degrees high with a low of 75 degrees. Humidity will be at 68% with a 1% chance of rain in the area. Meanwhile, sea conditions will be moderate to rough in open waters with waves also up to 8 to 10 feet. Again, winds will be moving east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Sunrise will be at 6:35 a.m. and will set at 5:44 p.m. And on Friday, we will see a change in the area. A partly sunny day with shower is expected. Temperatures will be 81 degrees high with a low of 75 degrees. Humidity will decrease to 65% with a 40% chance of rain in the area. Meanwhile, sea conditions will be moderate to rough in open waters with waves up to 8 to 10 feet. Winds will be moving easterly, northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Sunrise will be at 6:36 a.m. and will set at 5:55 p.m. Now have a good evening and join me tomorrow for more weather updates.
Thanks, Shanna, for the weather report. Tune in tomorrow for another edition of Primetime News. I am Sheena Harry. Good evening.